Game day -1. That's the way that the players will see it going into training this morning. And the anticipation is starting to build amongst the fan base. Dyson Maeda, it was fantastic news last night when Celtic put out the news that Dyson Maeda will be available for the game. But I think we needed a reality check. This, by no means, will be an easy game in the Champions League. We're playing against the best side currently in Germany. Better than Dortmund. Way better than RB Leipzig. Where will it be in between? Or will it be similar to the Dortmund game and Celtic will be completely under the cosh from the goal? They have a player who scored 55 times. The iconic 55 rears its head again. They have a player who scored 55 times in 50 games. But on the day that Celtic officially, yesterday, told the fans that Kieran Tierney will be coming back to the club on the 1st of July, 27-year-old left-back, who was sold for a record £25 million at the time to the London club in August 2019, is coming back for absolutely nada. And that's the best bit. I think that is the best bit. But the takeaway from the midterm results yesterday is obviously the profit. Celtic added the contract to Kasper Schmeichel and the return of Kieran Tierney, the disposal of Kyogo Furiashi, Alexandro Bernabe, Lewis Palmer on loan, Odom Ohm on loan, and Stephen Welsh on loan. It was all good looking at this, and it's all good looking at the financials, and it's all good laughing at the Sevconians at the complete and utter meltdown. And I did say yesterday that, for an old guy that lived through the 1990s, and the good bit is the laughter of their children as they grow up, their grandchildren as they grow up Celtic fans, and that's what karma is. We need to step back from the hilarity from just a moment, because it's time to get serious. This is the playoff for the last 16 of the Champions League. This is the biggest stage that Celtic has been on since 2012-2013. And that brilliant night, and I still remember it like it was yesterday, when Tony Watt gets the ball just over the halfway line, he's running towards goal himself. Nobody's thinking he's going to score. Nobody. But in the stadium, there's anticipation, and they're thinking, go on, lad, go on, just have a chance. Just take a shot. And he does. And he smashes it into the back of the net. The stadium went wild. Absolutely bonkers. It was unbelievable. It was a combination of between laughing, crying, and like, oh my God, did that just happen? Did Celtic just go 2-1 up against Barcelona of all teams? And they did. Can history repeat itself? It's going to be a tough task. Getting Dyson Maeda back is absolutely fantastic. We needed him for the second leg. Can we produce a piece of magic? We can score goals. We know this. We can score goals for fun. But it's the defence. It is the defence. Cameron Carter-Vickers will be back. He'll play with Austin Trusty. People will put question marks over Austin Trusty saying, is he really the long-term answer to play beside Cameron Carter-Vickers at this level? Because this is where you need to buy real good players. And this is why we need real good defenders. And bringing Kieran Tierney back for this level, it's a no-brainer. Keeping hold of our absolute wonderful player on the other side, Alistair Johnson, who may be going through a little down spell, a barren spell, as some people say. But when he's not playing with Kuhn on a regular basis, when that's getting changed about, you could see the passage of play isn't as fluent. Celtic need a settled back line. There are still question marks over Austin Trusty. He's grown into the Celtic shirt. The Celtic shirt isn't made to just fit any player, but he is grown into that position. Is he ultimately Champions League level? Tomorrow night we will tell, and it's going to be an absolutely fantastic day and evening, and it's going to have us either on our seats waiting or we're going to be hiding at the back. Celtic successfully appealed to too much band with Dyson Maida that he got against Young Boys. I thought it was a hard red card in the first place. It was a yellow card all day long, but the red card, it wasn't a red card as far as I was concerned. It was it wasn't even really a kick. He was trying to get the ball, but Dyson's foot hits the back of his calf, and then the player goes down like nobody's business. It was a massive boost for Brendan, and I think that we can all agree that going into the game tomorrow night, although we've lost the likes of Alex Bally and etc., the squad will have some youthful players on the bench. And this is why I'm saying we need to be realistic about the game tomorrow night. There will be a lot of younger players on the bench, and that will give us a sense of perspective of where we really are within the Champions League. It's a game that we need to look forward to. It's a game that's going to give us extra money, and not that we need it. There's plenty of money in the bank, but where you can see from the results, financial results. There's a Spanish referee in charge. God, please. There is a Spanish referee. He also was a referee for Aston Villa and Juventus in November. But anyway, it doesn't really matter what happens with referees tomorrow night, because we all know that you need to be at your very best. And in the Champions League, I think that this could ultimately be a step too far. It could be a step too far for this squad in its current condition. The fact that we're going to have a lot of younger players on the bench shows us the frailty of the squad, shows us how it's shrunk, and it's maybe shrunk a little bit too far. The fact that Brendan Rodgers was trying to get in another winger and a striker to have a real good go at the Champions League, he knew that he needed a couple of more players in to get the squad. And I think he won't come out and say it in public, but we know the players that Celtic tried to go for, and maybe they'll try and go back for them in the summer, or will they be priced out or price range in the summer? But Brendan Rodgers will know that the players will have done their best, and that's all he can hope for tonight. That they go out and perform on their own backyard to the level that we know we can. The level that we did against Bratislava. The level that we did against Atalanta. The level that we did against RB Leipzig when we beat them. Nobody expected us to be so emphatic that night. And I think if we can go out and have a performance that's even as half as good as any of those results defensively. I mean, we have to defend. We're going to have to defend for our lives at times tomorrow night. And that's the reality. That is the reality. Callum McGregor's going to have his work cut out in midfield, along with Dyson Maida and Arne Engels. Nico Kuhn will want to make a name for himself, because this will be aired on German television. He has aspirations to play for the national team. There's no better way to get recognised by your national manager, by going out and performing to the highest level. Will Brendan Rodgers go with Adam Idah through the front? Will he go with Dyson Maida through the middle to give Celtic that extra bit of impetus and hit on the break? I think that's maybe a shout. Would you be surprised if you had Jota on the wing, Kuhn on the wing, and Dyson through the middle tomorrow night? I wouldn't be that surprised at all. Dyson Maida might perform to the levels we know he can, but Adam Idah is bound to be thinking, wait a minute, Gaffer, I'm the main striker. Kyogo's left, and then you're going to put Dyson. But it's not going to be a game for us passing the ball into Adam Idah and, it's a tap in the 6-yard box. I don't think it's going to be that kind of game. I think if Celtic are going to have any joy, it's going to be similar to the way we did against Barcelona. That night, Celtic had only about 30% possession against Barcelona, but we won 2-1. It goes to show that you can have one shot on target and one goal and win a game when you have little possession in cup games. Has a team just done it in Scotland? Can Celtic do something similar? The crowd needs to back the team. The crowd, even when the Germans are having a right good go for big spells in this game, the fans need to make sure that the Germans know where they are, and that's Celtic Park. We've got our bit to play. The team has their bit to play. Callum McGregor says we need to perform so that the stadium reacts. and they do. And if the players do perform to the levels that we know they can, we've saw it. And let's just hope it's not a game like it was away in Germany where the Germans score a quick couple of goals and Celtic go into their shell. I don't think that will happen. But whatever happens, just remember, we've got further than we really expected in the Champions League this season, as far as I'm concerned. We got the points that I said that we would get at the beginning of the campaign. I did say that we would get 12 points. A lot of people said we should be aiming for 15. You know, I had a bit of a reality check back then. And I think tomorrow night will give the Celtic fans maybe the biggest reality check of the season so far. The season will not have been a disappointment just because we maybe go out at this stage of the Champions League. It's going to be a fantastic occasion, and for the fans going to Germany, that's going to be a fantastic occasion also. Let's just hope we don't have our own little disaster at this level and our own little implosion, because we've still a lot to look forward to the end of the season. We've got a league to win. It's now a case of counting down the games to the end to see which game we're going to win the league. And that game will be sold out like nobody's business as Celtic tried to get tickets. Celtic fans tried to get tickets for it. And then there's the Scottish Cup to look forward to also. We drew Hibs in the Scottish Cup last night at home. That'll be a fantastic occasion because Hibs are on the up. Yes, Hibs are on the up. They aren't the shambles they were at the beginning of the season. It's all to play for. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.
Lit. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the... Lit. Roll up to the